Greetings, one and all. Another Stargods vlog. I want to talk about the invasion of the NPCs. Okay, it's hard to explain NPCs, but maybe I'll put a link in if I'm not too lazy. You're not too lazy today, are you? Oh no, we're doing great. Uh, I don't know where to. Yeah, it's best to go on the internet and look up human NPCs to explain because it's very hard. But NPCs are just non productive programs that are in the system, and they're programmed to make your life irritating. And I think I'm getting the feeling that a psychopath is a more intricate, more deadlier program. NPCs are very passive aggressive, okay? And they're empty shells. They have no imagination. They're very dull, boring people. And they have no opinion of themselves. The only opinion they have is to disagree with everything you have to say. You say, well, yeah, you have an NPC friend and you're watching the weather and oh look man, yeah, it's going to be sunny tomorrow. We should do some campfires and beer. Oh, it's going to be sunny tomorrow. No, they got to argue no matter what. No matter what, they have to argue. You can't even say, hey, I think the sky is blue, because they'll argue with you and they'll come up with insane, childish, stupid reasons. Like they're here to drive you and I nuts. Okay. You get a lot of aggravation, a lot of stress. So that generates a lot of loosh for the archons. Okay. Negative energy that the archons need to feed on, just like flies on a piece of uh, vomit or something. And how do you explain them? They're just not. It stands for non-player character. In a game, in a video, which is very similar to our simulation here. You have the main characters, which is you playing the avatar. The avatar has consciousness behind it, which would be you playing. Whereas okay, there's a scene, and maybe it's a Western game. There's all these people walking around, all these people in covered wagons and stuff. They're not they're not functioning on a conscious level. They are creations of the computer. They are put there to bug you, really, to bug you or to fill up the empty space of the game. You can't walk down the street and have nobody there. I mean. So this is what NPCs are. So I look it up what they are. I'm not very good at explaining what they are, but I can tell you their traits. And just if somebody has these traits, they're not necessarily NPC. You're going to have to do some research and make decisions on your own. Anyways, they're all very dull, unimaginative people. They have no soul. They don't have the consciousness. The game player with his avatar has the consciousness. You have the avatar and you have the consciousness, much like a higher self, right? I think higher self is the one's calling the shot. No, I don't think we have that freedom of choice. I don't think so. And the archons don't give us freedom of choice. They say door number one or door number two. Door number two leads to heaven. Door number one is a tiger. Now choose. I'm not taking a risk. I'm not getting eaten by a tiger. Choose now or die. Oh, okay. See, we're pushed into, we have the free choice of being deceived. And they are the ultimate deceivers, the archons. They are so in control. I can't even begin to explain the power and control they have. They are mind parasites. They're right in there. Take a look. Ah! I mean, take a look. I mean, they're they know they're when we're born. we're born with an archon that is with us for our entire life, to break us down, to make us miserable, to create stress, depression, much like the virus. The virus is producing all this negative energy. Negative energy is loose, which the archons feed off of. Who are the archons? Well, maybe I'll try and put a link in if my fingers have the energy. Are you up for it, boys? Yay, we're up for it. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I'll try. I'll attempt. Oh no, I erased all my links. Okay, so I'll try it. So the NPC is blank, doesn't know anything. Is blank. You go in the game and you go to a guy that's selling arms, ammunition, and arms and ammunition. Can I help you? Nothing. There's no consciousness behind that player. It's all created by the computer. These people we live in a simulation, a holographic simulation where uh, these people are controlled by not consciousness. They're controlled by computer generated personalities. And they're here for one thing only, to make your life very, very stressful. Okay, so where do NPCs show up? They show up as your boss at work. They'll show up as a neighbor who's cutting his grass at 11 o'clock at night. They just don't get it, eh? But it's also programmed into their system. Hey, yeah, program that in. He'll cut the lawn at 11 at night and really irritate you to create the loosh, the negative energy. This virus has done its job. It's all introducing. It's all meant to introduce Chinese into the country, UN Chinese, pretty quick. But it's to give you down. It's to break us spiritually, physically, and mentally. And that's what NPCs are here to do. They're very passive aggressive. They have no imagination. They're very dull, boring people because they have no soul. They have no consciousness. They're running on operating on a programmed algorithm to bother you, to cut the grass at 11 o'clock at night, so you get really, really angry, and the archons just drink it up like a fly on vomit. And so I actually found some documents, legit documents, from I think it was the NSA or the CIA. I'm not sure, but they actually have, and I've seen this information, and I lost it because the computer goes poof, and then you have to install everything, and it all gets lost. But it was an actual chip that they could put in an agent, and that chip programs them. This is real. I was like mind-boggling. I was going, wow, this is real. Actually program you. Actually program the agent to just torture you, to make your life, to be very irritable. And this, they can put a chip in your boss, and the idea is to make you, to harass you. If they want to break you mentally, excuse me, if they want to break you mentally, physically, and spiritually, they'll program some agent, and he'll just do things like cut your grass at 11 o'clock at night, or make a lot of noise, bang, bang, early in the morning. It's all a programmed system directed towards you. I found these documents. I could not believe it. And so, and the hybrids, I think there's about 3/4 of the world is hybrids. And the hybrids are very credible. It's a very credible subject. It's not all this regular BS about Alpha Centauri, about Pleiades, and all that nonsense garbage. This is the real McCoy. Anyways, they're programmed to just irritate you, to just, it's like they literally have a big stick and they're poking you constantly, irritating you. Now they can show up as your boss at work, they can be a cousin of yours, or or they can be your neighbor next door mowing the lawn at 11 o'clock at night. They push your buttons all the time. I forgot my water again. They push your buttons all the time, constantly, and they know how to adapt and how to keep pushing your buttons. So anyways, they're very dull. You can't reason with them. You can't. They can't think or imagine. They have no imagination or creativity or nothing. They're programmed just to disagree with everything you say. That's their thinking. Their programmed thinking. It's not consciousness where you can open up the imagination and broaden the perceptions and everything like that. They're just no, no. You're gonna have two guys having a beer and watching the weather, and the guy comes up and says, "Well, tomorrow is 100% sunshine," and then you say, "Oh, it's going to be sunny tomorrow." No, and they'll come up with stupid, unbelievable nonsense for an argument. How do you know that? Oh, I can see. He has a headache. He has a headache. So he's confused. It's going to be rainy tomorrow. And then you think he knows the guy's got a headache? Like, that's classic NPC. Absolute class. Or they'll change the subject altogether. Oh, I hear there's good fishing in Alaska. What? We're just talking about the weather, and they'll get off the topic like real fast. They don't have empathy. They don't have sympathy. You can say, "Oh yeah, yesterday I found out, Gladys Johnson down the road, her dog, yeah, got hit by a car. Oh, that's too bad." And then they just jump off the subject. Like it burns, I knew an NPC, and I told him something that had happened to me. He doesn't go like, "Wow, man, oh, how do you deal with something like that?" Or, "Gee, I feel bad for you," or nothing like that. All he said was "boo-hoo," and then just jumped to another subject. They are not compassionate. They are literally mindless robots. Oh, that's ridiculous. You mean they got metal in their skin? No, I'm talking about biological robots. That's what we are. We're biological systems that are robots. We have our programming. There's no such thing as programming. Who do you think you're talking to? Oh, really? Look at that blonde there. What? We're totally programmed. Absolutely. We look at nature and go, "Oh, it's so beautiful," because we're programmed to see it as beautiful. We're all programmed, but we have consciousness that comes into our bodies, our cyborg bodies, or whatever you want to call them, and consciousness takes over. We're not just empty shells like the NPCs. A good NPC would be Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith has no imagination, who talks like very slow, and Mr. Anderson. They're totally robotic. And you'll see that once I put out some more of this, you'll see what I'm saying. Connecting with people that you've seen in the streets or even at work. Your boss could be an NPC. All they have no opinion. All they do is they're programmed to disagree with anything you say. It doesn't matter what it is, they disagree. And they they fabricate these amazingly stupid, silly, immature. A child could come up with better reasoning. They can't reason. You can't reason with them. You can't say, "Oh, well, yeah, I was looking at this new subject of blah, blah, blah. No, no. They're just so robotic. A really good movie to see is Existence. I recommend movies, but nobody watches them. And it's just people are just, I don't know. See, so there's a lot of NPCs that are watching my videos, eh? And because they're learning like a robot. You ever see Sophia the robot? She learns by what people tell her. Uh, Somebody will say, "Oh, what's your favorite flower?" "Oh, what's your favorite flower?" And then, "Oh, I love roses." And then they program that so when somebody asks them a few days later, "What's your favorite flower?" "Oh, rose." You know, look up Sophia the robot. I mean, that basically NPCs cannot think for themselves. They don't have consciousness. They only have an algorithm. And I can demonstrate this in people. I can show you what to look for. But yeah, I'm lazy. And do I really care? So now you have, they're very passive aggressive. They don't change. They don't change. They're very passive aggressive. One NPC that I've talked to said, "Oh, what's your favorite band?" "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What's your favorite kind of music?" "I don't know." Because they probably haven't talked like that to anybody else because they don't have the consciousness for deeper, more personal things. So they don't know. They don't have the rose effect. And so, and you say, then I said, "Oh, what's your favorite book?" "I don't know. I don't read." Well, and then when it comes to music, they don't listen to music. "Oh, I don't object to music on the radio, but I don't have a favorite band or anything." They're kind of stupid. They're detached. I'd say that instead of stupid, they're detached. Uh, they're not even all there. Bush was like that. Bush would just kind of be half there and half somewhere else. I've had relations like that are just kind of half there and not really fully connective with you. They're kind of like, "Oh yeah, oh, yeah." Anyways, what more can I say? Yeah, they're the ones that really, really are irritating. I'm working now to eliminate all NPCs from my life, not communicate, nothing. Just cut them off. And I think I got this kind of thing I'm working on that the hybrids, which is at least half the population of the Earth, are NPCs. That's what they are. So if that being the case, it's a major, major, whoa, it's a major invasion. But to learn more about NPCs, look at the movie Existence. Uh, it's such a good movie. Our reality is based within layers of artificial reality. I mean, you just gotta see these kind of movies. "Oh, it's just a movie, you filthy piece of beep." Oh, yeah. They've been given higher truth in movies that I've followed for years. I learned an esoteric knowledge. To create I have an esoteric knowledge base. Where did I get it? I got it from movies, and people laughed at me for years and years and years. And then one day I came across Christian Gnosticism, and I went, "That's what it is. That's what it is." It's all a secret teaching. They're teaching you for whatever reason to lessen their karma or to bring about the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius. I don't know what, but they do put the truth out in the movies, and then you try and tell people, and they go, "Oh, it's just a movie, you stupid dipstick." They get really mad. Well, look at the Matrix. It's so obvious and in your face, the inner knowledge that they're trying. But then you got the NPCs Oh, I really like the guns. There are so many guns. I got kind of hot. They're just idiots. And anyway, NPCers, they're really into football and stuff like that, but they're at the same time they're kind of distant and aloof. They don't go, wow, look at that goal. I can't believe he made that touchdown. They're kind of, oh yeah, cool. Look at that. Oh yeah, cool, cool, yeah. They basically talk like robots, but I would 20 minutes already. You got to figure this out on your own. I can't really tell you. You got to experience it. I think, yeah, I think the hybrids in this world are, yeah, there's a lot of good evidence for hybrids. They're taught to to learn how to act human, and oh, I forget the name. My memory, short-term memory. That's one of the symptoms of chemtrails. What's his name? He wrote a fantastic book, The Threat, I think it was. Anyways, that really delved into it, and anyways, I've totally gone. I don't remember his name now. Uh, I keep thinking Hynek, but that's not it. So you can't reason with them, and they love religion because it's set to a robotic pattern. Love Jesus, and they're very unemotional, and they'll have no sympathy for you. I mean, you go to them and they just you say something like, "How are you doing today?" And they go, "Oh, not so good. I got this and that, and a little bit of rheumatism, and I got a little headache, and my nose is always itchy. Maybe I got allergies or something." And they jump off the subject. They're going, "Oh, that reminds me. I got to get to the store for some bread or something, or beer or whatever." And they're totally obsessed with themselves. They're constantly going, "Oh, I should lose weight. I'm getting a little fat, and all this useless stuff. Get back to me on this. Come on, people. Make it worthwhile for me to go on like this. Give me some feedback. You are where I get the best research results. You people and your experiences are the best learning that I can get. Uh, I'm sure you have a relative or something that's just, and they're very aloof, very aloof. Now I don't know, there's another guy I'm trying to think of. Oh my, it's really bad today. It's not old age, it's not Alzheimer's, it's what's his name? Anyways, it's an Indian doctor. He's very spiritual and all that. He talks like a bleeding robot. And they asked him one time, "Oh, you'll know him. You'll know him once. Yeah, he's got glasses and he's the big wisdom teacher, East Indian. Um, boy, it's just gone. So, anyways, he's so robotic and unfeeling. They asked him on a show one time, "Well, how did you feel?" Which is a stupid question. "How did you feel when your dad died?" "Nothing. Nothing." Why? Because he never existed. It's very cold, very cold. Sabta Gucci. No, I can't remember. Oh, usually it comes back. And you'll know. Help me out. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Anyways, he's on Oprah and he's on all these shows, and he's an ex-doctor or something. Gupta, something's coming up. Gupta, I don't know. No, maybe it's that guy from CNN. It's just getting all mushed together. Help me, doctor. So, anyways, how to deal with them? You can't deal with them. They don't learn. They don't learn. They'll learn the Rose effect learning, but when it comes to marital association and where it comes interpersonal with actual conscious beings that have feelings, they don't know how to work things out because all they know how to do is to be controlled by their algorithm. They don't. They have no independent thought. It's just an algorithm. They're programmed. So you say, "Oh wow, look at that painting. Look at that. That's a beautiful." No, no. Oh, I read where that was really fake painting. You know. These are the guys that go around going Photoshop, Photoshop. NB, N, NPCs love the word Photoshop. You have a really amazing photograph of a UFO, and it landed somewhere, and there's the aliens. Hey, take me to your leader, right here, pal. And they'll go, "Oh, it's Photoshop." Well, my response is, how do you know it's Photoshop? What kind of experience do you have with Photoshop? Point out the defects, show me. And then they're just gone. They're off to a different subject. So you can't reason with these people. If you're married and you're living with one, good luck because there's no improving the relationship. They're not improving on relationships. They're listening to their programming, which is very shallow, very shallow. They're very shallow, empty people. They have no real personality. They're very dull, unimaginative. All they want to do is smoke dope or drink beer, watch football games or something. They're just very, very, very dull. They have really no opinion. All they have is an algorithm. They have no opinion. Consciousness creates opinions. They don't have opinions, okay? Uh, is it Gupta? No, that the guy from CNN. I don't know. Anyways, somebody tell me the name of this guy. He's got glasses. He's a big guru. He's the white man's guru. Racism. Oh my God, I'm a racist. I said white man. Oh my God, I should be punished. Uh, that it's all to torture us, to put us in a test tube and just smack it and bang it and yell at it so that you produce loosh. And the loosh goes out there and the archons are like flies. Here they come. Sucking up all the loosh. And we're assigned archons right from birth. They've been here long before we were even here, and they're the ones that created on the chief archon created our flesh. So I don't know what more to tell you, but anyways, it's good because I can wrap it up on the halfway mark there. Let me know your experiences. Just don't sit there like an NPC. Put some input in here. If you think you know somebody's one, let me hear about it. This is how I learn. I learn from people's experiences. Where I can see patterns and everything. This is a simulation, and they're there to just generate fear, everything, stress, depression, anxiety. This is what the virus thing is all about. That's the bigger picture that people don't connect with. Yeah, NPCs don't connect on any level. A very good example is when you're talking to them and they feel there's no connectivity. It feels like they're distant, they're aloof, they're looking this up, and you wonder if they're paying attention or anything. So there you go. That's it's another video. I may have a few more. Like I said, few videos back, there's a few ideas left that I want to get out. And I don't know anything. I just haven't. I observe. I'm very, very good at observing, and I'm very, very gifted at connecting dots. So that's all I got to offer you. Is my perception. I'm not your guru. I don't have the answers. I know the answers for myself, but I don't know necessarily. All I have is my perception. That's all I have. And like I say, I'm not really into these videos. I just do this because I'm bored. See, I've already killed a half an hour. That's what you do when you're on a pension, boy. Well, when you're on a pension, you're a man. No, no. See, that's and I don't know. There's very fine line. I think psychopaths are the jacked up version of the hybrids. I think that, and the hybrids are NPCs. So I'll leave that all in your hands. And oh, I lost my programming for a second. Yeah, I'm Joe Biden. That's my impersonation of Joe Biden. Isn't it weird though? The Joe Biden, I always saw pictures of Joe Biden. He always had blue eyes. Now he's got black eyes. You see him at the debate, he's black eyes. They say, "Oh, well, that's contacts. They're feeding him information." Yeah, but it's always black now. His eyes are never ever blue. They'll never be blue again. They're always black now, black like his soul. What a useless piece. Classic NPC. Biden is a classic NPC. Doesn't really know what to say, doesn't have anything to say, has no deeper insight. He's all got a whole cabinet of archons. What are archons? Fallen angels. And I'll try and put that link if I find it on YouTube. They're really trying to get rid of it. YouTube's scrubbing everything down. It's very, very hard to find things. So back up. Any video that you think is really good, back it up. Back it up, because YouTube, they're scrubbing it clean. Okay, so that's it. I don't know anybody. I can't recommend anybody else that talks about NPCs. But if you find a good channel about NPCs, let me know. Help me to help you, Jerry. Okay, sayonara, goodbye, and I don't know. Just pray to Dr. Fauci every night and keep his rules, and we'll get through this virus thing. Yeah. Thank you very much.